Hello everyone. Well, if you've been keeping up with my videos, you'll probably know by now that the Slime Rampage event is a bi-weekly event, coming back every second week, and we do in fact have our new slime event here starting today, and once again we have a new slime entering the arena, the Rampaging Forest King. And if you've already tried this slime, and like many who I've seen complaining in the official Discord and in various communities and in the global chat, I've seen a lot of people very confused on how to approach this slime's mechanics because it is quite a lot harder and requires a significant amount more coordination than the previous two fights. However, and listen carefully, I have a strategy for you that I promise you will be able to have a much more stable and reliable time clearing this fight. So if you can spread this video to as many people as you can, because trust me, we need to get people to understand how to approach this fight so they don't rage quit out. I've seen too many people saying, the slime is too hard, I'm quitting the game, it's all over, my life's done. It's all come down to this. So let's make sure we get this information to people so they understand how to beat this slime and its slightly more challenging mechanics. So let's quickly jump in first and take a look at the description of the skills as they're written, and then we'll jump into the actual fight and take a look at how these mechanics play out in practice. So, as always with every slime, there is a headbutt. This one is called the Sauceria. Interesting word. Sauceria headbutt. The slime headbutts the target, i.e. the tank, if you have a tank, dealing massive damage and applying toxic pollen. Toxic pollen is receiving great damage every 1 second and head to the fire sector to cleanse it. Now, for our runs, we found that this did not do significant damage as long as the tank popped shield for the headbutt. The following toxic pollen didn't deal significant damage, so as long as the tank sort of dives into fire every now and then to clear this debuff, it should be okay, but it's not necessarily like the biggest source of damage output that you have to worry about. Unless you're trying to, approach this at a lower level, in which case this might definitely deal some damage. So just keep in mind you have to jump to the fire sector as a tank to cleanse the debuff from you. Next up we have Jelly Berserk. This is the AoE damage that goes out, which the healer has to heal and maybe use a, I don't know if the healer would run barrier for this, but the healer should basically be prepared to mitigate the damage output from this, which hits the whole party, the same as the previous two slimes. Weedy Miasma is just a constant tick of damage to all targets. Life Bloom is of course what we've gotten used to from the previous slimes here, where if you're a healer and you stand in the wood sector, you will provide extra healing effect to the target with the lowest HP, which is very, very useful. Now. We are familiar with the previous slimes that there was always a elemental system, but this one is a bit different. Now let's read it and you'll quickly understand why. Elemental linking. Pick targets, pair them up, and assign target elements. Players within the same pair link their sector elements. If the linked icon combines into the right element when the recite ends, both players receive 1 stack of elemental blessing. Otherwise, both players receive a damage penalty from an elemental shock. So how does this work? First off, the elemental blessing, as you know, you deal burst damage at an interval, and you can stack it up to 20 times. But let's take a look at this elemental linking system. So how does this work? Fire, we understand these fire plus water equals steam, water plus wood equals bloom, fire plus wood equals ignition, fire is flame, wood and wood is growth, and water is damp. So we understand all this. This is the same combinations as the previous slimes. But how does this play out in practice? And let's now jump into the actual fight and see how this works, and I will explain to you the best strategy on how to approach this slime so you approach it with the basically, because the thing is, not everybody's going to get into this fight with voice comms and full sweat mode and ready to like coordinate. So you're going to need an approach to how to do this fight, be able to quickly type something in chat to let your paired partner know how you're going to approach this fight. So let's jump into the video here and take a look at how this looks. So, 1 second. Now, let's jump into the fight and take a look here. Now, quickly checking to make sure I had the right Melomon equipped. Okay, so so there you can see. I'm going to jump back quickly. Boom. You see, I'm now tethered. So I actually, in this fight, happen to get tethered to Natasha. So you'll see all actions that the two of us take are going to be what we're going to focus on. And the tank and the healer, Mushu and Sito, got linked as well, which you can't see. You only see on your screen the link to the person you're connected to. So everything that we do is going to be connected between these two here, myself and Natasha. So let's wait for the first element. So at the beginning of the fight, like the previous slimes, you're only going to see a single element. So what do you do when you see the green pop up here? When you see the green pop up here, you're going to have to both go to green. You and your link partner have to both go to the symbol that shows up here in the early stages of the fight, because what happens is, you see above my head right now, it shows water. And above Natasha's head, it shows grass. And what happens when you add water and grass? Well, water and grass added together does not equal grass. It equals bloom, which is the flower symbol. So if I stay here and don't go to grass, we'll fail the elemental check because I stayed in water, she's in grass, and we combined together to make the wrong symbol. So to avoid that, I will move to grass, therefore we're both in grass, and then you see here, the recite ends, boom, grass plus grass equals grass. Correct. So we got that correct. And so this is how the fight will progress. You have to pay close attention to your marked linked target, sorry. So here we're fire, we both go fire. Now it's obviously going to get more complicated when we get to the joint symbols. So all you need to do in the early game is just make sure both you and your linked partner both go to the same symbol in the beginning, and then once we get to the combo symbols, I will explain the absolute surefire way to get this to work, even if you're not on comms and don't want to have, complicated coordination with your teammates. So we're just waiting for the fight to progress, and we're eventually going to go to when it's going to show the combined symbols, which should be pretty soon. Okay. So now we have the first combined symbol, which is the whatever it's called. I'm going to call it steam. So here's how this works. In order for this to work, you're obviously going to have to go, you and your partner are going to have to go to two zones to make this combined symbol. So one's going to have to go to fire, one's going to have to go to water. And obviously, if you're not on voice chat, how are you going to communicate who goes where? What if you both go to the same zone and then you both then go to the next zone because you're panicking? I'm going to tell you right now, and listen very closely. Here's your strategy to not have this problem. One player say background. One player say symbol. And from that point on for the rest of the fight, the player who said background go to the zone that matches the color of the symbol. The other player go to the front, the symbol that's on this. So here is steam, which has a red background, fire, and a steam front background. The symbol is blue, it's water. So Natasha went to water and I stayed in fire. And you'll see we'll keep this up. So I'm only going, I said background, she said symbol. So I'm going to go to the background color sector and she's going to go to the symbol sector. So we'll do this again. Just keep in mind, this is the strategy. Boom. Okay, we have the same symbol again, so we stay where we are. Nobody has to move. And again, if you don't understand, I'm in fire, she's in water. Water plus fire equals this symbol. And that's how this fight works. You and your linked partner have to be in the correct sector so that your two elements that are combined create the joint symbol. Now, one thing I will say, because I saw some people confused, the symbol above your head here just corresponds to the symbol of the sector you're standing in. So right now I'm standing in fire, I have the fire symbol, she's standing in water, she has the water symbol. That's all you need to know about that. So we're going to keep going through here. Keep going through. I'm going to wait until a different symbol shows up and then I can show you, just so you understand clearly. Okay, so here we have the fireplace symbol, or whatever, however you want to call it. But because I already said background, she said symbol, I'm going to green. So even though I'm in fire here, you might say, well, can't you just stay in fire and she'll go green? No, because I called background, she called symbol. So because I called background, I'm going to wood. She called symbol, so she went to fire. And again, here we have fire and water. So why can't she stay in fire and I go water? Because it complicates things. So I go background, she goes symbol. So she's going to go back to water, and I'm going to go to fire. Because I'm going to the background, which is red. She's going to the symbol, which is blue. You see the point? You see how this works now? You understand how to approach this fight without communication, without having to be on voice chat with people. When one person claims, and again, background and symbol. I go to green, she goes to red. I got the background, she got the symbol. So this is the best way to approach this fight so you can easily beat it and match these symbols with people that you're not in comms with and not in voice chat with. By just at the start of the fight, when you see the link show up, when you see the tethered link show up, that's when you know. So here we have, again, this is the bloom symbol. So this is water plus grass. So I stay in grass. Natasha went to water. I took the background. She took the symbol. So this is the best way. So all you do is, once you see the link show up, you say background, the other player say symbol, or whatever order you prefer. Maybe you say symbol and the other person says background. Generally speaking, whoever says it first claims it, basically. But that's how this works. And this way, you don't have to ever worry about, oh, is he going to move to the right side? Doesn't matter. All you need to know is, if I'm the background player, I'm always going to move to the background color symbol. If they're the symbol player, then they're always going to move to the opposite one, the symbol, instead of the background color. And that way, you will always have this clean approach to the fight, and much easier to communicate and have a better experience with this fight, so you can get as many rewards as possible, obviously, because the elemental resonance does add up quite a lot if you're trying to deal a lot of damage to this boss. So there you have it. And again, you can see here, green background, I'm staying here. Natasha went to the fire section. I stay in green because that's the background color. She goes to the bloom, which is the water section. And again, we stay here. So hopefully you see and understand. I'm just gonna keep talking and yapping over this fight, just so you really clear. So boom, I stay in grass, it's green. She goes to red because she's simple. And again, she goes back to water. I stay in grass, in wood. She'll go back to fire. I stay in green. And then the final 30 seconds, I'll start spamming. So once again, background red, I go to red, she goes to blue. I go back to green, she stays in blue. I go to red, she stays in blue. I go back to green, she stays in blue. So there you have it. That's how this fight works. And that's the best approach to how to easily beat this fight without having to coordinate on voice chat and other complicated stuff with your teammate. So hopefully this helps you clear this fight more reliably, more comfortably, and gets better communication with random teammates. I know some people might not have a pre-made party and you just hit that matchmaking button. Just explain to people as much as you can, spread this video around, spread this idea around to people so they understand. One person take the background color, the other person take the symbol when you're tethered together, and that is the best way to approach this fight. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you have any more questions about how to approach this fight, leave it in the comments down below. Otherwise, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you liked the video and channel, and hit that notification bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. And as well, join the Discord. We look forward to seeing you there. Thanks so much for watching. Good luck with the slime fight, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.